Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Sea to Summit Aeros pillow. This thing is really cool. As you can see, this is the entire size of the pillow. Now, I've reviewed a few pillows on this channel. All of them have pros and cons, right? So today I'm going to kind of talk to you a little bit about the features of this pillow, the size of it. I'm going to talk a little bit about dimensions. I'm going to tell you kind of how it works and all the positives and some of the negatives about it too. So if you want to learn more about the Sea to Summit Aeros pillow, stay tuned.
Where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip.
Alright guys, so as I mentioned in the intro today, I am talking about the Sea to Summit Aeros pillow. This thing is tiny, as you can see. I mean, it literally is about the size of a baseball. It fits in the palm of my hand. And it's a pillow, and it blows up pretty big. So this is an inflatable pillow. Now, my history with inflatable pillows has not been great. I've had quite a few inflatable pillows, but I will say all of those were really inexpensive, like the cheapest Amazon pillows I could find from an absolutely no-name brand. And, you know, most of them made it for a few months probably, and then they sprung holes, and from that point on they were useless. And that is where my sort of love-hate relationship with inflatable pillows comes from. However, this is from Sea to Summit, and if you are not familiar with that brand, I have heard of them for years. I've, have a bunch of friends that are into kind of like backpacking, a lot of friends that are into camping. I'm into camping, so of course I've heard of them, but they are a little bit more on the pricey side, right? So at this later stage in my overlanding / dispersed camping career, if you will, I am starting to realize that maybe buying a different pillow for 20 or 30 bucks every couple months is a waste of money, and it would actually be cheaper to spend a little bit more up front and buy a really good pillow to start. So again, I'm kind of torn between some of the other ones that I've talked about recently and this one, but the size of this thing is just so appealing, right? Like to be able to just toss this in literally a cup holder or in my glove box or, in my drawer system here behind me, but with it taking up almost no room is really appealing. So if it is as comfortable as they say, if it is as comfortable as they make it out to be, then it should be a really great option for campers that are a little tight on space. So let's open this thing up. I'm going to inflate it. I'm going to sleep on it tonight, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it after I sleep on it tonight. But the main thing again is just features and stuff like that because I just got it. So I will update you guys and probably do another video on this in 6 to 8 months after I've used it for quite a while and let you know how it's doing. But tonight is going to be the first night sleeping on this pillow, so we're going to check it out. Another thing I'm going to be curious about is, will I ever get this pillow folded this small again and back into this packaging? We will find out. Man, it's so small. This is shocking. Okay, so when folded out but uninflated, this is about the size of the pillow. So I would say it is about a standard size for these inflatable type of pillows. This is about the same size as the inflatable one I had before, but again, that one was not made of this material. It was literally like a plastic. This is more of like a fabric with a bladder inside of it. So it does have sort of a protective cover. One thing that I noticed right away is that the cover itself is not removable. So this is all one piece. It is inflatable and deflatable, but you can't take it off and wash it. Another thing that they do say about this pillow and that I really like is inside of this sort of cover, you can see this sort of pleating. There is duck down material to fill it. So it makes it for a really soft sort of top on this thing that you put your head on, and it kind of buffers you from that inflatable bladder inside of it. So it gives you like a nice sort of soft feel to the top of the pillow when you're laying on the airbag, basically, right? Another thing that I do like is if you've got a lot of Sea to Summit stuff, this does have what they call their pillow lock system. So it is able to be sort of locked to your inflatable mat. So that it won't move, which is really nice because, a lot of the times you wake up and your pillow's over here and you're off the pillow. So the fact that you can kind of lock it to your sleep system is a really cool feature. So this is not a self-inflating pillow. You do have to blow it up, but it's so small that it's actually probably really easy. So let's see how many breaths it takes to fill this thing up. So I pulled the first tab, the inflate tab, and I'm going to blow the thing up. So that took 3 breaths. 3 good-sized breaths to fill that up. And then you are able to sort of dial in the pressure. So there's sort of a little like nipple in here, and you can push that and you can sort of hear it deflating there. So you can get it to the sort of the hardness or the softness, whichever you want, before you seal it up. Then you put your cover back on and then you're ready to go to bed. So they do have several sizes of this pillow. I went with the large just because I wanted a little bit larger sleeping surface, right? I wanted to be more comfortable. The large does come in at about 3.3 ounces, so super, super light. Again, as you saw in my hand, it's about the size of a baseball. Pretty small when it's all folded up. And then when it is opened, it is about 16.5 inches long, about 11 inches tall, if you will, and then about 4.7 inches, so just under 5 inches thick. For the size of it, see, this is the thing, right? What I was saying earlier, there are always pros and cons. So one of the other pillows I reviewed was my Luno pillow, and that thing is really super comfy. It has no air to it whatsoever. It's all microfoam stuffed, but it's a lot bigger. It's probably 15 times bigger than the package this thing comes in. So again, if you're tighter on space, but you want something that's high quality and still comfortable, this may be a good option. Or if you want something that's more like a full-size pillow, but still smaller than a full-size pillow, the Luno might be a good option. So, you know, giving you the facts here, right? All right, so again, tonight I'm gonna sleep on this thing, and then tomorrow morning I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on it and how comfortable it was. All right, guys, so I made it back from my camping trip, and I wanted to kind of give you a recap of the Sea to Summit Aero pillow, this little thing. This thing was great. It worked out perfect. And as you can see, I got it back in the bag. So that's a good start. So basically what I did was I folded it in half long ways and then in half again. So quartered it long ways and then just rolled it down, fit right back in there. Perfect. No problems, no forcing or anything like that. It went right back in there. So that was pretty nice. But I did want to give you kind of a side-by-side comparison. So I mentioned the Luno pillow earlier in the video. This is the Luno pillow. This thing is not an air pillow. It is all memory foam stuffed. It is smaller, you know, than a normal full-size pillow at your house, but not by a ton, right? It is pretty comfortable. I do like this pillow. But then here is the Aero pillow next to it. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys this size comparison, right? So this is the size of my hand here, right? And then this is how big the Luno pillow is. Again, the Luno pillow is super comfy and it's smaller than other options. So this has some pros and cons too, right? But man, it's so tough to beat the size of this, the Aero pillow. It's just so tiny. And again, it was super comfortable. I slept great on it. The down topper on it, it got down into like the 20s, low 30s probably. It was a little chillier than I expected, honestly. And I kind of wondered, like, will the air get up under there? But then, of course, I had my head on this thing. I was not cold at all. I had no, you know, cold air coming up from underneath. The down sort of topper on it helped insulate my head from any cold air that might have gotten into the air pillow. And I slept great. And with it being on the pad and that sleep lock system, that sort of fabric backing that keeps it from sliding on the comfort pad, it stayed put all night and I slept like a baby. The only thing that slid around was my head in the sleeping bag on the sort of slippery top. But, you know, no problems, didn't come off the pillow or anything like that. So, you know, after everything is said and done, really super happy with this pillow for the size especially. And now I've got to decide, like, which one do I take on a trip, right? Do I take the giant Luno? Do I take this small Sea to Summit? The space savings alone makes this thing a really interesting, really good value proposition for people looking, especially if you don't have a ton of room, right? So anyways, that is kind of my final thoughts on it. Great option if you are more pinched on room and you need something that doesn't take up as much room in your gear, or if you're a backpacker or something like that, this may be a perfect option for you. So again, there will be a link in the description down below to this pillow. If you have any questions or anything, post up in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. Also in the description down below are links to my website where I've got funny overlanding stickers and patches. So if you're into that kind of stuff, check those out. I think they're pretty funny. There's also links to all my other social channels. So wherever you want to come join the conversation, hang out, I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to chat with you. Follow along with the channel, follow along with the truck build, follow along with gear and stuff as I test it out, as I kind of, you know, try new things. I'm a gearhead, so I go through a lot of gear. I try out a lot of new things. Also in the description down below is a link to my Patreon page. No pressure whatsoever, but if you want to support the channel, that may be an option. Also, I'm trying something new on YouTube now, the memberships thing, where you get early access to the videos and things like that, some special emojis and stuff in chat. So there's some cool stuff in there, so that should be an option down below as well. But again, no pressure at all, but if you guys want to support the channel, that helps a lot, and I really appreciate it. And then last but not least, there is a link to the Newbie Overlanders page. Totally free to join. Tons of awesome members in that group. It's growing every day, and it's a great place to get started. If you're newer to overlanding, dispersed camping, anything like that, and you're looking for a place to kind of learn and ask questions, that's a great place to start. But again, thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful for you, and we'll see you next time.